Hey everybody, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, and we're back for another pre-release Eldritch Moon draft. Yes, I've been on stream doing them a lot. I've got to have at least 10 under my belt at this point. And I've been fairly successful. So still trying to understand the format better. I think Dahlia is a pretty clear pick here, but besides the fact that she's worth 5 tickets. 3 mana, 3 power, first strike, and she makes all your opponent's creatures in limited enter tapped. She's really strong, so we're going to first pick her. If you like the content, please subscribe to the YouTube channel and like this video. That would help me a lot. And you can come check me out on Twitch at twitch.tv/Inez27. And you can find the link to that in the video description. Thanks so much for tuning in. Ooh, past a clear shot, yeah. I think that might be a clear pick, if you know what I'm saying. I've played Weaver of Lightning a couple times, and I really like it. Courageous Outrider is a good card. I like it. It's terribly efficient. 4 mana, 3/4, that presumably gets you another card, depending on how deep on humans you are. Also like the Fiendbinder, and Slayer is perfectly fine, as is the Sentry, so a bunch of good white cards, but clear shot too good. Yeah, combat trick plus, potentially kill something. I think we just got to take that. I think Eldritch Evolution is worth some tickets. We'll see. If it's not worth much, I can probably just take the Extricator, because I know that's good. Well, it's worth a couple, but for the purposes of the video, I guess I'll take the Extricator. This card is very good. So, okay. Take it. And Spectral Reserves, I haven't played with. I played against. It's more playable than I thought it was, but still not very good. Alright, let's take the Extricator. Impetuous Devils. So 4 mana, 6/1 trample haste. You can make something block it. So it's kind of like a removal spell if they have an untapped creature, with probably a little bit upside of dealing some damage to them. Seems alright. Faithbearer Paladin has been actually okay for me, but I think I'd probably go to the Survivalist just because it's cheaper. I like the Faithbearer Paladin, but 5 drops usually much easier to come by. 4 drops are usually easy to come by too. And there is Swift Spinner, which has Flash, but I don't know, I've kind of liked the Survivalist. Plus, if we're in green-white, which we look like we want to be, we're going to want more humans. Get those human synergies going. Okay, 5th pick Greeting. It's kind of telling. 5th pick Boon. Kind of want to stick with this direction we're going, though. I've done a bunch of black-red so far. Still trying to look around at the other archetypes. And it's so early, there's no reason to think that these colors are getting cut. I could just take the Ironclad Slayer because it's a 3-drop, or I could try out the Spectral Reserves. I really don't think the reserves are all that good. Usually I just value 2 and 3 drops a lot higher than 4 drops, 5 drops, just because they tend to go later. And you end up cutting them later, too. Let's take the Slayer. It's a human. And potential ability that we could end up using. Maybe we'll end up with some auras that I wouldn't mind playing if I have a couple Slayers. Something like that. I've played Woodcutter's Grit once. I thought it was okay. I think this time we'll cut it because it's the last green card in here. Wow. I have some good options in here. Shield Maid I like. Kind of want to go with the Captive, though. There's also a Woodland Patrol, which is human. Currently, we have a bunch of humans, but no cards that synergize with them. But Captive is just always good. The fact that it's a ramp, even if you have a low curve, the fact that it's ramp plus, a late game sort of win con, it's just very good. Does what you want to do at all points in the game. I'm going to take it. I was actually impressed with Grapple with the past. We have a couple Delirium cards already that In this case, we definitely want to enable this. This card's kind of worthless. Not worthless, but really infinitely better with Delirium. And I was impressed when I played Crapple with the pass, so we'll take it. I don't know if I like the Thraben Standard Bearer anyway. It is like, I guess it's a... Ooh, actually we're going to take Wolfkin Bond. I've been meaning to try this card, and now that we have the Ironclad Slayer, it seems a lot better. What was I saying? I forget. Alright, we'll take the Id of the Horrid Swarm. This card's playable too. We can likely put it as a 5-drop, but might even be a 4-drop in this deck. But we'd have to sack a 3-drop. I think we'll end up with some more 2-drops. We'll be fine. Alright. Wield the Swift Spinner. Certainly playable. I'm going to take the Field Creeper over the second Swift Spinner. Like I said, we have a couple cards that want Delirium, and we've already got one Swift Spinner. We probably don't need 2 of them. I don't really care about any of these cards. Guess I'll take the Recruitment. We'll let someone have Displace. Alright. So, I've played Occultist before. Actually, I played against it. It's actually a cool card. It's not worth much. I think we're just going to take the Priest. Likely just taking the Priest. Bloodbriar would have been an amazing card in Triple Shadows over Innistrad. As is, it technically, it still works with Clue tokens, but it does work with Emerge, too. You only have to sacrifice 1 permanent, and it's a good card. But I think Priest is just kind of what we're looking for. We are currently removal light, so I think that makes sense. Not a very exciting first pick, but there's just nothing in here for us. Permeating Mass is a really kind of fascinating card. I don't know how much I actually like it, but I do find it interesting, definitely. I think we'll take the second Captive. These cards are just good. Just straight up good. Like Guardian of Pilgrims is a good beatdown card, but if we take another Captive, we might even be able to get some more Emerge in here a little more comfortably. We don't necessarily have to be beatdown either. Can be a little more mid-range maybe. We'll find out. Either way, I feel good about Captive all the time. Ooh, Lashweed Lurker's good, but... So, we have Foul Emissary, too. We have plenty of creatures, so it seems like it's a card that's going to be able to hit, but we only have 1 Emerge card at the moment. I don't know how I feel about the Consecrator. We're not really devoted human beatdown. I mean, we're in the right colors for it, and we do have humans. But I might just prefer the Foul Emissary and go for some more green Emerge. Otherwise, I could take the Lurker, maybe try and splash for it. I mean, it does seem like something you could splash. Yeah, you know what? Because even if you don't have the blue, which we don't have a means to get yet, but even if we don't, we can cast it for 8. Not that I want to. I'm going to take the Emissary anyway. Maybe we'll find more Emerge later, and I kind of want to try out the Emerge Enabler. I don't think this card's great, but might be okay. So we can take a second Wolfkin Bond, or we can take this Lunarch Mantle. Either of them are going to be fine, I guess, with the Ironclad Slayer, but I think the Wolfkin Bond's got a lot more upside to it. Probably. Although this is just a lot cheaper. Like, is it really that much better to pay 3 extra mana to get a 2/2 and not be able to give it flying? Maybe Lunarch Mantle is better than I'm giving it credit for. I've been beaten down by this card pretty harshly before. I mean, giving your card evasion after you buff it is pretty harsh. Let's take it. all the captives? I'm fine playing a bunch of captives. Like, really don't have a problem with that. All right, another Id of the Horde Swarm. Definitely what we're looking for. With all this ramp and the Foul Emissary and such. Let's take it. Definitely getting cut in white, but a lot of good green. A second Grapple with the Past. More likely we just want the Steadfast Cathar. Grapple, I guess, lets us bring back our Id of the Horde Swarm if it dies, or the Extricator, or Thalia. But we already have one. I mean, we already have a lot of creatures too, I guess. But we have these auras, so probably... I don't think Steadfast Cathar is all that good, I guess, but we'll take it. Well, immediately rewarded with a Grapple to Past. I'll take it over a second Lunarch Mantle, I guess. Okay, we'll take the Bloodbriar. Now that we have a couple emerge, this could get better. Plus, this could get even better if we get some sacrifice effects. I mean, I guess we already have Extricator, which does work well with Bloodbriar. We're going to take Borrowed Grace here. I actually like this card, and it's cool to see it this late. Certainly a card our deck can run. Especially with the Id of the Horde Swarm. I kind of like that. All right, we'll take the Lurker. I'm glad it wheeled, because we can at the very least hardcast it, and more likely we'll be able to find some form of fixing for it. All right. Got the Wolfkin Bond anyway. So we are actively looking for some form of blue fixing. If we can't get it, like I said, we can still play the Lurker. As like a splash. Neither of these cards are good. I guess we'll actually take the Cathar Shield. Maybe I want... It seems like our... Well, I was going to say our late game's better than our early game, definitely. We have big-time beaters. We're going to let someone have Strange Augmentation. We have all these captives, which turn into big threats. Cryptolith Right. Well, that is technically a way to fix, but I don't think that's what we're looking for. We're probably looking for something like Aim High, but then again, we may actually want the Expose Evil since it replaces itself and it works with Bloodbriar, which I would like to try out. We have Neglected Heirloom, though, and that probably actually is just the pick. We already have 4 guys that flip. It's a tried and true, just good card. So I think we'll take it. Plus, we can bring it back with Ironclad if it magically gets milled away with Grapple with the Past. Also, Grapple with the Past works well with Ironclad Slayer. I like that. All right, let's take... I don't think we need double Wolfkin Bond, so that'll be our first. This definitely looks like a 16 land deck right now. I know it seems crazy because we have all these 8 drops, but 3 Ulvenwald Captives. Like, our curve is also extremely low. We'll take the Heirloom. Hope to wheel, Expose Evil, or Aim High. That would be nice. Mind Rack Demon. Wasn't that seeing play for a little bit? Well, it's certainly seeing limited play. I know it was seeing a little bit of constructed play, too. I don't think it's a great card. It's probably not worth much either. Oh, it's worth a couple tickets. It might just be the pick anyway, because I don't need any of these cards. Yeah. I would take a Clip Wings for sideboard, but I'd rather have 2 tickets than a sideboard card. We're not going to play Might Beyond Reason either. And Scavenger is whatever in this deck. Okay, so Howlpack and Moonlight Hunt, which always seem to end up in the same pack together, oddly enough. Probably just want the Quilled Wolf, another win con. Could take the Provisioner, but Quilled Wolf I think is just better. I could cut the Swift Spinner, but maybe I'd cut the Steadfast Cathar. It's just pretty unexciting card for the most part. Also, I guess I don't need double Grapple with the Past. They're just not a real... Although it does turn on our Extricator. Yeah, well, maybe I'd prefer double Grapple. I don't know, actually. There's Explosive Apparatus as well. We are Removal Light, aren't we? Very Removal Light. We have Clear Shot, Woodcutter's Grit, Trick, Borrowed Grace, Trick, and then some auras. Yeah, we're Removal Light. I'm not in love with Apparatus, especially with no flippy werewolves without, you know, paying mana or whatever. We'll still take the Wolf. Wolf's just better. Alright, Fork in the Road is going to be a good pick, actually. Strength of Arms would be fine, and Survive the Night would be fine, too. Maybe we'll get lucky and wheel one of those, but I kind of want the Fork in the Road. Helps with Delirium, and does technically find us an island for this Lashweed Lurker. Let's just cut Steadfast Cathar. I don't want to play it. Maybe we don't need to play these auras, even though we have Ironclad Slayer. If I was going to play one, I almost want to say Mantle's better, but is that true? I honestly don't know. I feel like it probably is, though. Like I said, paying 3 extra mana, although it's not like our deck's going to have a shortage of mana. I don't know. We'll figure it out later. Take the Fork in the Road for now. All right. I guess we can take a second Quilled Wolf. We're going to have plenty of mana in this deck. No worries about that. All right, Hunter's a great pickup. Strong card. It's going to work more value for our Heirloom as well. Probably just play that over Swift Spinner. So we have Apothecary Geist. I don't think we have any spirits, though, do we? Yeah, I don't think we do. Huh. Wait, is this a spirit? Elemental. Makes sense. We already have the Field Creeper, which in my mind is a better Wicker Witch. So I guess we can take the Geist anyway, just as like a flyer. Probably not one we want, though. All right, I'm going to take the Apparatus now. Chance I play it, just because we're so Removal Light. We got both back. I think I'd prefer the Expose Evil. Although, are we even going to... Well, no, we're going to do Bloodbriar because we have the 3 Emerge. So let's just take the Expose Evil as an additional way to get value from that as well. Even though I think Aim High is slightly better. Expose Evil is just fine too. It's not great for a deck like this, but it's fine. I mean, our curve is just ridiculously low. Guess we can take Might Beyond Reason. Well, it looks like nobody's in Werewolves. I mean, I have what, 4? I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wolf cards. It's not as bad as you'd think, but I'm going to take the Clip Wings because I just don't think we have enough to justify Howlpack Resurgence. 7 is close, actually, surprisingly, but it doesn't seem like that's what the focus of this deck is. So we have quite a few cuts to make, but we're going to play 16 lands just because this seems like a deck that can easily get away with it without having any problems. Triple Ulvenwald Captive and Fork in the Road. Should be no problem. No problemo. Ooh, Magnifying Glass Bloodbriar goes pretty deep. Not going to do it, but that is cool. Shard of Broken Glass. I already have a Might Beyond Reason, so I doubt it happens. Take the Fixing Land, I guess. Okay. So we have some cuts to make. Like I said, I think I'm going to play Lunarch Mantle over Wolfkin Bond. Because I don't know why. Maybe I don't even play either. We'll find out. So what can get cut here? We can cut 1 Grapple. I think I might cut the Woodcutter's Grit. Because I still have plenty of instants. And I have... Well, I'm glad I picked up the Fork in the Road because it's my only sorcery. Probably cut the Apothecary Geist. It does fly, but we just don't have any synergies with it. So I'd rather just... whatever. Don't need it. We're going to keep the Bloodbriar, I think, because of the 3 Emerge cards and the Expose Evil. And the explosive apparatus actually works with Bloodbriar. I didn't even notice that. That's cool too. Let's cut the Wolfkin Bond because whatever. And I think we can cut a creature. What's my weakest creature though? I don't want to cut the captives. I don't want to cut the Field Creeper for the... Might actually be Ironclad Slayer actually. Like Slayer does bring back... Well, if I'm going to cut the Slayer, then maybe I just cut the Lunarch Mantle. The Mantle does let us get Delirium potentially, and it lets us evade though. But it just seems like something we don't need. But then again, if I cut the Mantle, why am I playing the Slayer? It's just a 3-mana 3/2. This deck's not lacking in creatures. Trying to think. What if I cut the Slayer and the Mantle and I run 2 Grapple with the Past? I have quite a few creatures I want to bring back, right? I guess Thalia, Extricator, 2 It of the Horrid Swarm, and Lashweed Lurker are all creatures that I could see wanting to get back with Grapple. We have only a couple Delirium cards, though. Playing 2 Grapple doesn't seem necessary, does it? I don't know how much I like the Mantle yet. Like I said, I played against it. This just doesn't strike me as a Mantle deck. Like, we're really not dedicated beatdown. We have all the late game ways to win, right? Double Quilled Wolf, these are just houses in the late game. Captives, same exact thing. Extricator, late game way to win. Hunter, late game way. Like, we just have all of this stuff that's cheap that wins in the late game, as well as these It of the Horrid Swarm and Lashweed Lurker. So, it feels like we just don't need Slayer, and we probably don't need Mantle, and we can just do something else, like maybe Woodcutter's Grit. Maybe bring back a combat trick, because we are very trick light, actually. We'll take a combat trick. That also protects from removal. We'll give it a chance. I thought it was okay. It is expensive, but protects your bomb, too. All right, seems fine. Let's do this. So we are going to run 1 island for the Fork in the Road. Wow, we did not end up with much white at all, did we? So that's not a huge deal, I guess. But so 1 island, which they don't even recommend. That's funny. We can go like this. What is this? 15, 16. So 6 white. I mean, we need white relatively early, but it's more like 7 with the Fork in the Road. Although we want the Fork in the Road to find the island, so maybe it is better. Grapple with the Past might be able to find it too. I mean, you really do want to play Thalia on turn 3, but I feel like 6 white is enough. I mean, you want to play Sigardian Priest on turn 2, but not really. You don't have to play Sigardian Priest on turn 2. It's not like you can leave up 1 mana for the rest of the game on turn 2. An Extricator, you want to play that late. So actually 6 makes sense for this deck, to tell you the truth. All right, here we go. I like the deck. I don't know how high to rate it yet, but it looks fun. We ended up with some removal, which is good too. I would have liked more. We have the heirloom value. We have just all the ramp a little boy could ask for, and plenty of ways to win. So seems okay to me. If we can survive to the long haul, I think this deck can definitely do some work for us. So let's see if we can do that. We'll see you round 1.